Hey guys, Pham here with TVRG Homes. Today I have with me Ishores of Bull Run Financial and bill.saylor of Fairway Mortgage. So hey, say hi, you guys.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, so I know myself being a 29-year-old, I may not be thinking about retirement just yet, like as much as I should be at least. And obviously I have some questions. I'm sure you guys out there do too as well. So Billy and I wanted to bring in Ian, just to ask some questions, like some basic questions that he probably gets a lot, and just clear the air with everything. So Ian, the first question that we have for you is, like I said, I'm only 29. Is there an age that I really should start considering, like really getting planning and all that stuff?
I mean, that's a great question. To be honest, there's no right or wrong answer. You can start as young as you want. You can start as old as you want. My personal suggestion is start as early as you can. Retirement's completely up to you, and it depends on what you're looking for during your retirement. Most people are looking to kick back on a beach and have their feet up and not have to worry about money. And that's, the earlier you start, the easier it is to get to that point. There are four basic types of retirement vehicles that are accessible to just about everybody. A CD, an IRA, a Roth IRA, and a 401k are definitely your most common. The 401k is definitely something to look into, and that's an employer product. The other ones, you just come to a financial advisor like myself, and we can take care of that for you. But depending on your age and where you are in life, really depends on what you're going to want as far as your retirement vehicle. Again, if you want to delve into that a little deeper, that's something that we have a discussion offline, because there are a lot of factors that are going to go into understanding what we need to do for you and what you want at the end of the day. The benefits to using a retirement plan as opposed to just saving money in the bank is your return rate on your money. If you put it in a savings account, it's just going to sit there. It's not going to accrue any interest. It's just kind of sitting there. Most savings accounts have anywhere from 0.8 to 1% interest that accrues. But once you start getting into 401k IRAs, then you're looking at more between 4 to 7%. So that's definitely something you want to look into. One of the things I point out to my clients, and especially anybody asking about retirement, is the age gap. So most Americans retire at 62. That's your average age for retirement. Even though the age is 65, a lot of people are retiring a little bit early. But then the average age of an American at death is 79. So that's 17 years in between there. And I'm sure everybody out there knows somebody who's in their 80s or in their 90s. So just increase that gap. I mean, you're talking, from 17 years to 29 years and so on. And it just gets, you need a plan in place to make sure that your money takes you all the way to the finish line. And that's what we're here for. Again, if there are any questions beyond the difference, or as far as the differences between any of the retirement vehicles, those are questions that I'm happy to ask if you just reach out.
So I know you mentioned the different retirement vehicles to get you where you want to go. The two most common ones, at least I and maybe the common person out there would know about, are 401k and an IRA. What are there any differences between? Are there any advantages to one or the other? Or can I have both?
Yeah, absolutely. So the main difference between 401k and the IRA is something that you're going to set up yourself. You're going to not set up yourself, you're going to come to a financial consultant like myself. We're going to go through the motions. We'll get all of that set up for you, where a 401k is something that's actually done through your work, and you cannot do it outside of work. The main difference between the two is the 401k generally comes with an employer match on a percentage, which is a great thing. That's free money at the end of the day, and it works for your employer because they get it as a tax write-off. It works for you because you get free money. So if your employer has a 401k, I definitely say that's a better way to go. But as far as the return on the two, they're pretty similar. 401k, IRA are both built to make about the same money. Now there's a difference between an IRA and a Roth IRA. IRAs and 401ks are tax deferred retirement vehicles, which means the money that you're putting in is pre-tax dollars. The significance of that is that your money coming out gets taxed as income. A lot of people don't understand that. We're in one of the lowest tax rates we've ever been in, which probably means it's going to get higher. So over the next 8-9 years, if you're planning on retiring and you have all your stuff in a 401k or IRA, just know that they're probably going to chop about 35% off the top of that before you even get your money. The Roth IRA, the difference there is that it goes in post-tax dollars. So your taxes are already taken out of it. So you're paying taxes on it now so that you don't pay taxes on it later. Again, here's the benefit to that is right now we're in one of the lowest tax brackets one of the lowest tax brackets we've been in. So if you're putting your money in after taxes are taken out, that means that money will not be taxed later when the rates are that much higher. So it's just important to think about these factors. And again, talking to a financial consultant like myself will really help you understand the difference and what could be better for you. When you're doing a 401k, just a quick side note for people out there, hit the maximum that they'll do as a percentage. So if they'll match 3% of your money, match the 3% of money. Don't necessarily go over and put it in 6%, because again, it's going to be tax dollars at the end of the day when you go to pull that money out. This is the time to diversify, which is finding another retirement vehicle to put that excess money in. That's going to benefit you at the end of the day. There are penalties for early withdrawal on all of these, so that's something to be aware of. If you try to take it out before 59 and a half, then you will get slapped with huge tax penalties. So keep that in mind. These are retirement vehicles, meaning you do not take them to retirement. I think a lot of people think they're savings accounts, and that's just not the case. I've heard of people actually pulling their money out early and getting hit with up to 40%. So all that money you save for 13, 14 years, and you're like, I need it now. And in some cases, if you need to take it, then you absolutely need to take it. But if you end up draining the whole thing and you don't roll it over into something else, or essentially pay back that money into the 401k IRA, then you can get hit with huge penalties on that. So keep that in mind. Retirement is for retirement. If you need excess money outside of that, make sure you have a savings account with 3 to 6 months for emergency funds, and that way you don't have to touch it and incur those penalties.
All right. Hey, how you doing, bud? Question for you: Is there a certain time frame when someone might want to look at a term life versus a whole life policy? Is there a certain kind of age when one becomes more attractive or more advantageous versus the other?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question as well. Now, there are benefits to both policies. I think term policy is definitely something that you should be looking at later in life, i.e. term policies when you're 45 or 50. The problem is the later you wait on insurance policies, the more expensive they get. The whole life policy is they're changing nowadays. They're morphing into these essentially retirement funds, as well as your death benefit on top of it. Me personally, whole life is the way to go. It is a bit more expensive, but they do 10 pays, 20 pays, and LP 65s, which is payment up to 65. And it exactly what whole life infers is it is your entire life. So meaning a term insurance is for 10, 20 years, right? You're paying the same exact amount all the way through that term, but once that term ends, then you're not insured anymore. Where a whole life policy, you pay it off in 20 years, then you're still covered all the way till you're 100. So it truly is a whole life. If you actually live past 100, then you can cash that out and have all that money back to you. But if unfortunately, if you die before that, then that money's still there. I like to tell people to think of it like car insurance. So you pay your car insurance just in case something happens. Well, imagine if you paid your car insurance for 10 years and then you never had to pay it again, but your car's still insured all the way until, you run that thing into the ground. That's kind of how the whole life works. The term policy is great. If you want coverage for a super low price, because term policies are definitely a lot cheaper, especially if you're in your 30s, you're healthy, you're not a smoker. I mean, you can get really, really great rates on that. But the whole life policy, if you're looking for long term and you're looking for the best benefits out of it, the whole life policies are definitely the way to go. And you can start those as early as I've known people who've taken them out on 3-year-olds, and they pay them by the time they're 23, and then that kid is insured all the way through, their death at the end of the day. So they're both good things. It just depends on what you're looking for and where you're at in your life.
So yeah, thanks Ian for all your sharing your knowledge with us. Greatly appreciate it. I know a lot of things I never even thought about, you answered and helped clear it up some. If you have any more questions for Ian, I'll leave his contact information below. Of course, if you have any questions for myself or Billy, our contact information will be below as well. Follow us on all your social medias. Like we're all on Instagram, Facebook. We like to put videos out every so often. So yeah, thank you guys again. And until next time, thank you, Billy. Thank you, Ian. Say bye. And we'll see you. Catch y'all next time.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, you guys.